This is Jake Heaps here in the 710 studios. Huge win over the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football, catapulting the Seahawks to a 99% chance of getting into the playoffs. So huge victory. And the big thing that I wanted to look at and dive into the X's and O's of was the offense. In particular, Russell Wilson didn't have his best game, but also partly was because it was a great matchup in terms of Minnesota's defense matching up so well with the Seahawks' deep passing attack. And so I wanted to look, show you guys as to what happened in the course of the game. There was an opportunity Russell missed, but also Minnesota just simply did a good job covering it. And Russell was able to still get us in good situations. So I want to dive right into it. So here we go. First play we're going to look at is the first quarter, 5 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, and it's 1st and 10. So 1st and 10, want to take shot opportunities, again, changing up the narrative that we're going to run on 1st and 2nd down. So again, just for those defensive coordinators looking in future weeks, okay, how many times, what's the percentage of the Seahawks running first on 1st down? Well, now here's an opportunity to kind of keep that balance there between pass and run. So we're going to do play action pass here. And again, because of this running game, I'm going to talk to you guys a lot about the box. And so what it creates is it creates an 8-man box. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. And you have the safety playing down to the line of scrimmage. And that is a favorable passing situation, and that's what the Seahawks have done so well. But what Minnesota does is they keep everything in front. So as we go to the next clip, Russell's in the back part of his drop, and now the concept that you have here is you have Tyler Lockett running essentially a deep post pattern, and you've got David Moore running a deep cross. He does a great job of stemming this thing up, and now he's going to break it across the face of this corner right here. And as we go to the next clip further, as you can see, there's a lot of space here because the safety and the corner have to respect the speed of Tyler Lockett. Line does a great job giving Russell protection to scan and survey downfield. And now as this play develops, David Moore is going to come open here. But there's two things that you have to consider. Russell has done a great job of taking care of the football in these situations. He's been potent, but also smart. And what he sees is he sees linebacker Eric Kendricks dropping back here and out in front of this throw. So that's what hesitates Russell from throwing this football to David Moore. And also, David's got to clear to this side of the window, and Russell simply doesn't have that much time because you have an unblocked defender here running in Russell's face. So what Russell does is Russell is going to run outside the pocket, and Nick Vannett was a chip and release right here. And what Nick does a great job of is working with Russ. Once he flushes the pocket or gets out of the pocket, Nick Vannett then becomes a receiver for Russell. He goes upfield and is able to create separation, comes right back downhill, and Russell's able to put it right on him for a 1st down completion. And again, just getting a completion, getting us in positive situations. So now let's go to the next play. The next play, we're going to have Nick Vannett lining out wide. And again, we're trying to get man zone indicators here. So Nick Vannett is going to come down into the box, and he's going to line up more as a tight end. And you're going to have him run a shallow cross. You're going to have Tyler Lockett run a deep cross here. And David Moore is going to run what we call a V-cut. So he's going to come down in here, and then he's going to break to the back pylon. And as we go and look at the play developing, you see that it's pretty much its zone coverage, but also now at some point zone, especially in cover 3, turns into man-to-man at some point. The safety and the corner, they're going to kind of bracket David Moore here as he continues to run this route. Harrison Smith runs with Nick Vannett, and really your real viable option here is Tyler Lockett one-on-one with Xavier Rhodes. And Tyler has done a great job. Him and Russell has connected on this multiple times. But as we're in this position right now, Russell has a great pocket, but again, he's going to feel pressure at some point here and have to evade by the time Tyler really truly gets open. And again, he's not wide open. Xavier Rhodes is right on him. So this is a tight window throw, again, a risky throw. And so if you go to the next clip, by the time Tyler becomes a viable receiver, Russell is under pressure and under siege. But man, what he does a great job is his escapability. He almost is Houdini at times. He evades pressure and is able to get us a first down and a nice 10-yard gain. Now we're going to look at the play that he could have had in this game. So it's 2nd and 6, second quarter, 4 minutes and 11 seconds left to play. Again, the box look that we're going to see. You almost pretty much have all 11 defenders somewhere near the line of scrimmage. It might make you concerned that they go cover zero, but in this situation, the Minnesota Vikings go cover 3. They're going to drop back Harrison Smith deep. Okay, so what we're going to have here is a deep cross by Tyler Lockett, and I'll get into the details of that route. You're going to have Jaron Brown blocking down and helping out in protection, and then David Moore is going to kind of run a deep pivot route. He's going to sit in the middle of the field and then work back out to clear the window for the deep cross. So again, let's go and let's see how this play continues to develop. So now, as Russell sits back there, great protection because of play action. Really slows down that pass rush. And now you've got David Moore setting up, and he's going to go back towards the sideline, pulling this corner with him. And what Tyler does so well in the details of this route is he dives in and he stems up and he's attacking vertically before he breaks across. And typically in this route, it's a judgment call. So Russell at this point in time doesn't know exactly what Tyler's going to do. Tyler could take it deep or he could break it off flat. Because Harrison Smith is on the other side, on the other hash, obviously he's a great player, so Russell has great respect for him. And also there's an unknown of what Tyler's going to do. Is he going to take it deep or is he going to break it off? Tyler makes the absolute right decision here and decides to break it off. And as you see, has Harrison Smith turned around, and you've got an opportunity to hit Tyler Lockett for a big gain. What Russell does here is, if you watch this live, his eyes go off Tyler before Tyler gets to this point because of where Harrison Smith's leverage was before Tyler broke it off. So he looks for his check down, kind of gets into scramble mode, is able to hit Jaron Brown on a check down and try and keep the chains moving. The final play, the final deep play action play comes in the most critical situation, and again, it was the biggest play of the night, and it was a scramble by Russell Wilson. So 2nd and 8, fourth quarter, 5 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the game. Need a huge play here to continue to keep the lead and maintain the lead and keep that defense on the bench and resting. So they're actually going to run the same play that we just talked about. So David Moore is going to dive right in here. He's going to set up and pull out, and then Tyler Lockett is going to dive in, stem up, and come across and run a deep crossing route. And the play develops and it opens up just like it did last time, but the difference here is Russell gets clear pressure right from the get-go. You got Anthony Barr right here who is ready to make a play and bring pressure onto Russell Wilson. And again, before Lockett is able to get out of his break, Russell is receiving pressure here. So once Russell comes out of here, if he had time, you had Tyler Lockett screaming wide open on the opposite sideline. But here, time and time again, Russell has been able to make plays with his legs. I know a lot of people have put into question as to, has Russell lost a step? At the end of the day, Russell still has the ability to make you pay with his legs, and he did just that. There's a couple unsung heroes on this play for this to happen. One, J.R. Sweezy to continue to work and kind of seal off Anthony Barr and the other defensive lineman from pursuing from the backside. Dwayne Brown gets a nice block on Sheldon Richardson, and then also the main unsung hero that I want to point out is Nick Vannett here. So Nick Vannett is a going out for a route. He sees Russell Wilson scramble, and at one point, Russell Wilson decides to make it clear in terms of him tucking the ball and running, and Nick Vannett, as you see here, drives his defender all the way to the sideline with a great block that springs Russell Wilson for a nice 40-yard gain. And again, my other favorite part about this play was Russell Wilson sliding at the end of the day because it continued to milk clock and run this thing down. So yes, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't the same offensive explosion in the passing game as we've been accustomed to, and Russell has been accustomed to over the course of the season. But again, Minnesota just matched up very, very well against our offense. And for us to continue to grow and evolve, we have to marry a great run game with deep play action pass, but we also need to develop the intermediate game and short pass game if we want to be a great, well-rounded offense heading into the playoffs.